京都郁文館グローバル高等学校です。テーマは脳科学の研究を通じ発達障害者に対する機会の不平等性をなくすです。それではよろしくお願いします。
Well. Good morning, everyone. We are from Ikubunkan Global High School. The presenter will be Yuna, Amy, and Minori. So from our school, we would like to propose on better education for autism spectrum disorder. To make our future better, we think it is important to accept another kind of values of people have, or something that is hard for you to understand. In this presentation, we have two themes, which is neuroscience, and another thing is the autism. The reason why we chose those two is because we thought those two contents has an absolute effect in our society and our school lives. As a change maker, we would like to propose a new educational style to Japanese education styles right now. First of all, what is autism? In general, it is said that autism happens from genetic and environmental influences. Also, that's one of the popular theories we have in our world. And none of us know the real reason why the autism happens. And another thing we realize about autism is that most people have a negative image toward autism. So through this presentation today, we'd like to wash off the wrong images that people have toward autism.
Current condition. We actually visited a school which helps autistic students. They go to this school because they have a hard time catching up in the class or making friends in their elementary school. Also, their parents feel isolated with this situation. And we are hoping to eliminate this isolation and generate a place that everyone can be accepted.
I would like to talk about the comparison between Canadian and Japanese school style based on our experience. We three all went to Canada for study abroad for about 10 months. Both Canadian and Japanese school have special classes for students who have autism. In Japan, for instance, they have extra classes of what they've done to make sure no students are left behind. By comparing Japanese and Canadian school style, Japan emphasized on the collectivism, while Canada focused on the individuals. They also have a system of academic acceleration, which they don't have it in Japan. However, there are some reasons why these two countries have their own education styles. Japan is based on collectivism, not only because from the remnant from a long time ago, but also in natural disasters, it is much easier and safe if people were used in the collectivism society. Also, they think it is important for students to be all equal. On the other hand, in Canada, since it's a multicultural country, they are more open towards individuals. Based on these, we would like to suggest our ideal elementary school. As you all know, diversity is when people embrace different cultures and customs. But we believe true diversity is not only accepting foreign cultures, but also accepting people who have certain disorders. Neuroscience is our other point. Concretely, teachers and parents are going to take neuroscience class in order to have better understanding of autism and for our school policy. Therefore, our two main points for our ideal elementary school is diversity and neuroscience.
So in our ideal elementary school, we're gonna put every student in the same classroom. And these are specific suggestions based on neuroscience and diversity. More selective subjects. Imagine like this: if all students learn in the same classroom, autistic students might feel isolated because they might feel that they can't catch up to the class. And there will be no good point of learning in the same classroom. So we are going to divide classes into 3 levels so that students can choose classes to take. And they can get more support from teachers. Next, revise textbooks with more graphics. It's proven by neuroscience that people with autism tend to learn best using visual support. So we are going to use digital textbooks with more graphics, so it helps students understand easier. Do not force to sit on the chair. We allow students to move around during classes. This is because some people with autism have difficulty sustaining attention and sitting still. So basically, they sit on the chairs, but we allow them to stand up anytime in the class. In addition, we create a recreation space for autistic students. And we're hoping that it helps autistic students focus on the class. Add neuroscience as a subject for teachers' training. We educate teachers by training them neuroscience and how to support autistic students. They are learning features of autism so that they can deal with those students in the class. Often meetings with parents. We open meetings with parents frequently. This is because some might say that it is a bad idea to put autistic students in the same classroom because it might make the class slow and there have been hard times sustaining attention. But we think it is important to have them understand that this education has a good point for every student. So we are going to open meetings with parents.
So in conclusion, we're not just suggesting those ideas just because we went to Canada and saw Canadian education system is better than what we have in Japan. We are hoping to combine education and make Japanese education as a better thing. This is all for our presentation. Thank you for listening.
ありがとうございました。それでは、植木先生からお願いいたします。
I'd like to ask about how would you like to continue the research in your future?
So this was my idea to do a neuroscience. And to continue in the future, I want to go to abroad to study about neuroscience since in Japan, in the university in Japan, we don't really have a neuroscience course, which means I can't take the neuroscience as a major course. So to continue my research in neuroscience field, I would like to study abroad.
Thank you very much. Well, this is a very unique approach to solving the issue and the educational field right now we have. One thing is that you propose very good things, very detailed things, particular things. I advise you to implement, do something actually. Do you have any plan to do in your school, or in another opportunity to implement the things you proposed here? You do some that kind of, for example, using what should I say, at the different levels of desks, you allow your students to keep standing something, or individual educational approach, pedagogical approach. Do you want to do something actually? Do you want to implement?
Okay, so in our school, there is a committee that are trying to renew how we are doing the classes. So we want to connect with them and ask for help or gather with that committee and then change the education, such as changing the height of desk or how we do the lecture, or maybe even as Amy said, we can revise the textbook and use some electronic devices. I think we can change like that.
In addition, we have all students have Chromebooks, which we can use it in class. So we can have the digital, actually we can see how the, for example, how the shape works.
では最後に郁文先生お願いいたします。郁文先生ですか。
Yes, thank you very much for a very practical presentation. I agree that you presented lots of details. I'm just wondering how realistic it is. So my question would be, do you think the Japanese government, I mean at governmental level, is doing enough to have a more inclusive form of education?
Right now in government, we don't really think the government are trying hard to do some more inclusive education. However, we think having autistic is kind of serious problem that we will be having and facing in the long-term future. So we should ask government to help us with combining autistic and neuroscience perspectives.
A very quick question is, do you have any plans to go to the Diet and speak?
If we can, we hope.
That's a great idea, well done. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
ありがとうございます。非常にシャイではない女性の方々のプレゼンテーション、郁文館グローバル高校の皆さんありがとうございました。